Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, depending on where you are joining us from. Yes, SAP is a global company with an amazing global partner community for SAP Business One. Welcome to today's partner webinar dedicated to feature package 2602 highlights and the roadmap update. My name is Peter Dominik, and I have a privilege to lead the global SAP Business One product management team. And I will be hosting today's webinar with my colleague Ari Shapira, and also not just two of us presenting, but also Shai Berkenblitz, Guy Suchetsky, Avinoa Frankel, Maya Schiff, Nofar Laxesiso, Karen Ares, and many more from global organization Darius Haydarian, of course. We'll be answering the questions either live or through Q&A section. And I'm happy to see also so many partners joining us today from different regions and partner companies. And also, likewise, I was really glad I could have met many of you in Las Vegas during the Americas Partner Summit a few weeks ago. And besides Las Vegas, of course, our global product and development organization also managed to deliver the successful summit in Bangkok, Thailand. And we will get to the European Summit at the end of this webinar, so please stay tuned. And now back to the main subject of today's webinar. So we are really bringing an update on the most recent feature package, which was released some weeks ago, but because of the summits, we really left this for later. So we really now can share it for the global partner community. And here we will speak about that what was released, an outlook for 2608, and also the strategic message on SAP Business One. Okay, there is a, I hope that all goes fine. Oops, again. So SAP Business One is an integral part of SAP solution portfolio and ERP strategy, and it's really of strategic importance for the company, as this is the only SAP ERP solution which is serving smaller businesses and lower mid-market companies, and SAP wants to grow here, and which is why we also are further investing. And the most visible area of this investment is the web client, and the coverage and the progress of the web client implementation is really getting the critical mass. So we are really claiming that 2026 is the year of the SAP Business One web client. Because really we are now addressing really the very complex functions, and we'll cover it from many angles at today's webinar, and we did it in 2602, working on the further enhancements. And there is really no time to wait for something. Web client acceleration is happening with 2602, 2608, and also in terms of your extensions, those partners who are having the solutions for Business One, the traditional add-ons will not work with the web client, and you need to really create a new generation of your extensions and develop it with the latest tools. So really, we ask you that you start designing the extensions, and there are tools for you. And it's also a unique opportunity in 2026, because together with creating the new generation of your extensions for the web client, it's also really AI, we can call it AI disruption, AI revolution on its way, and the adoption of the AI services can be combined in efforts with designing your extensions for the web client. Besides that, SAP AI integration and enablement with ready use case, these are coming up. Avinoa Frankel will speak about it in some minutes. So we are enabling the product, we are integrating the SAP AI services, so you can also use them in the context of Business One, and also you can build your extensions, you can leverage this, but also we will really create some ready use cases, and also we will do even more, for example, for support of the MCP server, and many more are coming. We're also doing and acting on the territory of the partner innovations and coverage. Darius Haydarian, together with Angeline, produced an amazing playbook, also printed hard copies, but it's primarily a digital online repository of your stories, of the initial 36 partner AI stories. This is really great proof how you are innovative and also acting autonomously on the territory of your solution as extensions, and leveraging the artificial intelligence and various scenarios which customers of Business One really need. Version 11 is really next generation of the solution. It's really next major release. We have communicated some time ago, and also we communicated openly through a roadmap. It's a natural evolution of the product, and with the next generation cloud management tools for SAP partners. And I will also speak about this later. We are all doing this to modernize the product, to grow it further. And the main ask is also, and we also do it for all existing customers, but probably also we do it so we get more and more new customers, which is why really also need to have further net new names growth, and these are really essential. So it's also a motivation for further SAP investments because Business One has been known as a net new names generator engine, and we hope and we are building and betting on that this will continue. So also this is really the call for you, that it's not just serving existing customers but also bringing new customers. This is really, really important also for our future investments and grow. So we are regularly communicating about the plans about the product, and we are doing this through an official SAP Business One product roadmap. The most recent release was in March 2026, shortly before the Las Vegas summit. And we will also release one more or two or three updates this year. It really depends on the need. Usually there are 2 or 3 roadmap additions per year. It really depends on the need. And we are very openly communicating the very next feature package and support package with on the other areas, most recently also on the artificial intelligence services adoption and other initiatives. So please stay tuned for this. We usually announce the updates through LinkedIn, and this is really a public link accessible through the sap.com, the product page. So the other product areas of future investment remain the same, and we are executing according this what we openly communicate. So we are really reinventing the intuitive interface with the web client interface, and of course, while we are really respecting the maintenance, the security, and legal compliance. And we are building a supporting partner on your co-innovations and extensions through building the new robust developer experience on the web client through service layer, but also enabling you on the business technology platform, and also that you can leverage the latest artificial intelligence technologies from SAP AI services or even from other if you wish. And we also are doing, and even will be doing even more for version 11, providing more investments into the cloud management tools and providing the flexible deployment model. Either you decide to serve your customers and they choose it to have a traditional on-prem, which is still possible, but also we want to support you more on your partner provisioning of the multi-tenant cloud. Last but not least, also we are helping you on enabling the fast adoption of the web client. So this is a fourth pillar of our product areas of the future investment. How we are shipping the product, the most importantly is the core product. So we have 4 releases every year, support packages or feature packages. The very next one is the 26th of 5, which will be out very soon. And then during this August, we will have a next feature package, again, with really packed with a lot of content with the web client. Ari Shapira will be speaking about this very soon at this call. And then every 3 months, there is either support package or a feature package. And we will also alongside, and we are working on the version 11, so it will come once we reach the majority of web client functions. We will also ship then the version 11 with the other ambitious enhancements for the long-term future of the product. Besides that, we are also releasing the updates to the Cloud Control Center component of SAP Business One Cloud 1.1. So there is a next patch 23 planned right after the 26th, so it will be out, so early September, and also patch over 24 and so on and so forth. And also on the mobile apps, we are shipping in June already update to the sales app with some adopting of some customer feedback, and also the renovating the interface, user interface, and the login page. So also doing some facelift on these applications and also adopting the feedback from the customer influence, but most importantly, keeping them secure and compliant with all the iOS and Android updates on the operational system. So this is how we are shipping our enhancements. Guy Suchetsky will also speak about the cloud, so also you will learn what we did recently and what we are planning for the future. So let's move on. Now I would like to hand over to Ari Shapira to share the latest innovations, most importantly about the web client. So Ari, please, to you.
Thanks, Peter. I'm happy to be here and share with you the latest of web client, my favorite subject in the world, after the family, of course. So this is definitely the year of the web client. What's important to understand is that we are reaching a very amazing momentum. I had an interesting call today, 2 hours before this session. Somebody was going to a pre-sale activity and gave me a call on my mobile to check what's coming with 2602 and 2608 to prepare for a customer-facing event. So this is definitely gaining momentum, and I really appreciate your support in getting the right feedback into the development organization. It's important to understand that we already have a good coverage of the business processes. We have company configuration, we have sales and purchasing, a solid processes established, CRM service, finance, payments, master data, inventory, production and resource elements, and more and more. So definitely a robust part is already delivered. And the hidden gem, which we will talk about it, me and Avinam, is the analytics. If you have any doubt, you should install the web client starting with analytics.
Sorry.
This is a...
sorry, you are sharing? Okay, sorry. Please go ahead.
Okay. Analytics is a very good gateway to start adapting the web client. Talking about analytics, it gives you very robust abilities in the same price. Because if you buy a license of Business One, you get the web client with the embedded analytics in the same price range. It's a sophisticated tool which allows you to create your dashboard, your charts, export and import, define user-defined queries. Really a very powerful tool, which I recommend you to implement in all the customer cases that you have as a starting point to adapt the web client. What do we have with 2602? I'll talk about the highlights because we have a limited time today. So first of all, extended usability support. We are introducing the process map, a very intuitive tool to streamline the processes that you're using in the web client. We enhanced the notification framework, we enhanced the UI patterns. Basically, everything in the web client goes pattern by pattern. This is the way we develop and consume the web client, which makes it much more easy to use. The gem of the business processes are enhanced in a significant way. We introduced ATP, landed costs, correction invoice, document generation wizard. For the first time, we have wizard capabilities within the web client, document generation wizard and purchase procurement wizard, and payment wizard in view mode. We complete the inventory opening balances and inventory posting scenarios to support the inventory counting, and introduce for the first time production orders and resources, which was well awaited. We extend the business scope based on your feedback. I'm really encouraged to see there's a lot of traffic coming in the CIS portal about the web client, so please continue with that. We continue to support analytical capabilities. We deliver the new generation of reporting capabilities with profit and loss and sales analysis. And a very nice feature, which I will show you in a second, we are able to support crystal layout reports on the fly. Extensibility, I will leave to my colleague Shai Berkenblit, but I can just mention that very anticipated Webhooks initial delivery is at present in 2602. We continue to extend the UDO and UDT with the user-defined values and Microsoft 365 integration. So let's talk about the features a bit in high level. First of all, process map. That's a wonderful UI usability tool to create a process. Imagine that you have hundreds of processes that your employees are using within the web client. But the employee just wants to have the key processes in front of him when he's starting his workday. You can define a process. For example, this is quote to cash. You can define all kinds of sophisticated processes. Each click opens a scenario, either a create document or a list view. In the future, you'll be able to connect to external HTTP calls as well. So you can define your own process and follow it. This is a very nice visual way to use the web client. A very nice feature called ATP, you probably know it, was awaited to be introduced in the web client. It's a very useful tool to judge the pipeline of the order, so it's introduced in the web client in the sales process. 1 second, I was too quick. The wizards for the first time are introduced. Again, we introduce it in patterns. So now there's a new pattern called the wizard pattern, which is adapted in any wizard we are creating. step by step using a list view capabilities. You can filter, you can choose, you can execute the wizard. And a nice feature which is coming in the future in 2608 is the ability to run a job service. So imagine you have a wizard which is quite heavy. You're not going to wait until it's being processed to continue your workday. You can use the job service in 2608 to run it in the backend and get a notification once the wizard is completed. So this is also very useful adoption. By the way, what we try to do when we implement the web client is not just copy paste what we had in the desktop client, is take the core concept, of course, because we share the business core, adapt it with new usability, new UI patterns, and also collect feedback from the market when we implement. The job service was a very important feedback from the market to allow to run it in the backend. So we implemented it, of course. Another very nice wizard is the procurement confirmation wizard, the same flow, same pattern, like the document generation wizard, very useful. The longer-awaited production order and resources is available in the desktop client. So yes, production is available. And we'll talk about 2608 where we're completing the second phase of production. That's a very nice feature, SAP Crystal Report support. So imagine you created dozens and hundreds of reports to be deployed as standalone menu items in the desktop client. Now, when you upgrade to 2602, all of them will appear automatically in a special group in the web client. You'll be able to run them with the filter. You have a filter bar in the upper part. You will see the report. You can print it, of course, as well if you're interested. So we really try to piggyback on the work you did in the past and allow to consume it in the web client. And again, this is a nice idea coming from the market, not from us. It was a tip we got from one of the partners. I forgot the name. Sorry for that. And we implemented it and got very good feedback. So if you have good ideas, you're more than welcome to raise them. We are happy to hear them. The next generation of reports. So we are using a new generation of report, which allows you to group information in layers. As you can see in the sales analysis report, we have a year. And we have a cross-tab functionality which shows the quarters, and we can also add another dimension of net sales amounts and gross profit, etc. Very dynamic report. When you press click on a certain line, you will see the details below in the table below. The same process is used also for profit and loss, but I will show it in the demo, which I'm going to go now into it. I'm sorry the demo is going to be quite short because of the time constraint, but you'll understand the direction. Okay, so first of all, document generation wizard, a new tile in the web client. As you can see, you have the steps of the wizard, 1 to 5, and then 6. You choose the parameter. You choose the customer range. You choose the dates.
Ari, it's not, the demo is not visible.
Okay. Let me share again. Thanks for that. I'll unshare and share again. Sorry for that. Can we see the demo now, Avi?
Continue with it. Yeah, things are moving.
Okay, I'll go back to the document generation wizard. So as you can see, you have steps of the wizard, 1 to 6. You can initiate a new wizard. You can choose the selection of the customers and the dates. You can execute, and once you execute, you get the list of transactions which are going to be created, which are created already with links to the documents. Very user-friendly scenario. The other side of the house is the new procurement confirmation wizard, which allows you to start creating purchase documents in a bulk way. And again, wizard is basically a very important process to allow it to work in bulk. not to do it one by one. So that's very important to raise efficiency, and that was highly requested. You can choose the business partner range here. Choose the documents, and execute the report. And as mentioned in 2608, you'll have a job service as well. Landed cost, another very important element in the purchasing side, was added in 2602. You can view the landed cost in the view, in the list view. You can create new ones based on good receipt PO. You can add the cost, of course. And they're distributed on the item level. You can see the fixed costs are distributed. Another very nice feature is the check register. Yes, checks are still used in some parts of the world, so that's quite useful to be able to track them. You can filter according to different parameters. And by the way, that's something I really like, that once you learn how to use the web client, it's the same learning for any kind of new object. The list view and detail view are using the same patterns in all the places. I mentioned before with the ATP. So once you create a sales order, you will have a prompt telling you that there's a gap in the availability, and then you can start investigating it. You see the ordered quantity and available quantity are different. You can open the report and see what's going on. You can also open the report from the item grid. And the next area is completing the inventory counting process. We have inventory opening balances to reflect the ability to define opening balances in the beginning of the financial year, and create posting after the stock counting is done. Let's start with opening balances first. You can create the object, enter the posting date, of course, and the items that you want to introduce into the company as an opening balance value. Another very important object is the inventory posting, which allows you to post the differences between the stock counting actuals and the reality in the warehouse. So you can copy the inventory counting document inside the inventory posting, and then you'll see the difference. A long-awaited production order functionality. We finally have production order inside the web client. We'll create a production order, choose the relevant product tree, see all of the items, go to release mode and complete the process. But we have, in addition, also the resource management functionality, which is essential to define the production process. We have resources, resource capacity, setting daily internal capacity functionality. You can set up the capacity, as you see. And now let's talk about the process map. So we have a very nice introduction into the process map in this demo. What can you do? So first of all, you can define a process, or you can consume a process which is already provided by SAP. In this case, it's quote to cash. You can either create a document. You go to a create mode, or you can go to a list view, which allows you to process the documents. And you can define various processes within the quote to cash, procure to pay, and other scenarios as well. We provide you with a design capability and with a few process maps out of the box. As you can see, a few of them are out of the box, a few of them are created by the user. This is another example for an updated process of purchasing with goods return request. You can, of course, introduce any kind of process that you're interested in. Let's talk about the crystal reports again. There is a crystal report section, which will present automatically all of the standalone crystal reports that you have in your company in the desktop client. It just appears automatically. You don't need to do anything. Obviously, you can decide to delete some of them if you're not interested to use them in the web client. You can change the sequence, of course. And if we go into one report, you have a very easy to use upper part to define the filter, and then you can see the report, you can print it, you can use it. And this is really important because we try to leverage the investment you did in the desktop client in the best way. So this is a nice example for this functionality. This is talking about the new cross-tab reporting category. We have two reports, sales analysis and profit and loss, which are using this cross-tab functionality. It's a very sophisticated way to analyze the data. First of all, you choose the data range, of course. Then you can define the parameters, which columns you want to see. And then you can define the criteria. At the moment, the information is grouped by customer code and item code. You can see the columns here, customer code and item code, and by the posting dates. When you go to the posting date, you can decide on the level of data. By year, by quarter, at the moment, it's presented in this way. You can define it by month and day if you want. Then another level is presented. Profit and loss is using the same capabilities, but using it with a tree of the chart of accounts. You can see on the left side the tree of the chart of accounts. You can define the grouping capabilities. That's basically it. I'm going to hand it over now to Shai. I hope you enjoyed my part, and I'm happy that I could bring you some interesting information.
Thank you, Ari. Shai can take over. Thank you. We cannot hear you, Shai, yet, if you are speaking, but we can see your screen.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's okay.
Great.
Go ahead.
So my name is Shai Berkenblit. I'll be presenting the extensibility part of Business One web client. The extensibility of the web client, we try to make it as close as possible to the desktop client and beyond. We are supporting a UI API framework that will enable you to customize the views. You will be able to add, remove, hide, show your own controls. You will be able to respond to control events. And of course, it will include code samples and the online help. We will be using Visual Studio Code as our main IDE, which means that we have a wizard that enables you to create a project from scratch. You just need to set the parameters and click some next steps, and then it will create a project for you. Each version, we increase the numbers of views that are extendable. It depends on our infrastructure, and each version we add more and more views that you can extend. This also includes UDO and UDT views of your own. You can extend them. Inside the development environment, you have an option to preview your project, which means you don't have to package, deploy, and do a huge circle to just see the result. You are able to right-click the page you want to see the changes, click on preview, and you will see the result. Debug is also supported, and an easy way to package and deploy your project once it's ready. So up until now, we supported the basic controls that we have that we're using in the UI. 2602, we introduced some new controls, the multi-combo box and multi-input. We allow to create a dialogue with a complex grid on it. And we added some business objects on the Visual Studio Code wizard. We provide a way to use webhooks. We'll talk about it a bit later. We have Views API, which means an API that creates a URL that you can open a specific object directly. We have an authentication process, and we'll review also the online help. So this is about the multi-input and multi-combo. These are the new controls that we support. Each version we support more and more controls. So we already support most of the most common controls. About the new business objects, so we have about 20 new business objects. This is the wizard in Visual Studio Code, and in this step you have all the controls that all the business objects that you can extend. We support already most of them, or the most popular ones. We added a very easy way to add a complex dialogue. You just right-click and you can add a dialogue to the project. So everything is meant to be very easy, with a very short learning curve for a developer to develop an extension. We support webhooks. We do it with the service there and our webhook service. You can register to an event and be notified when a data event happens, which means if a new order is created, you can get a notification and respond with your own code with the webhook. Same with if the order is changed, if the order is deleted, if a new business partner is created, you can register to that event and respond with your own code. This is a very short video about how to do it and what should be set up. So here, this is showing a new order that is created, and it will trigger your own application. So once a sales order is added to the system, for example, and you're listening to that event, in your application, you are notified about it, and you can execute your own code. Okay, so that's about the main idea of a webhook. The extensibility and the online help page are embedded into the web client. You have a page that is dedicated to it. It contains links to our documentation and a link to our extensibility page on YouTube. And that page is really nice because it contains a lot of videos that shows you how to use our extensibility. You can see all these videos are available for you, showing step by step how to use our extensibility. Next, I'm going to show a video that shows our UI API abilities. Just a moment. So this video is about enhancing our existing UI with your own UI extension. The look and feel for the end user looks exactly the same. It's the same controls and the same infrastructure. Our application is called Sales Assist. It should assist a salesperson with his daily work. So what we did, we took the business partner and we've added some information on the business partner detail view. You can see we've added a tab named Sales Assist. The Sales Assist tab, that's an entirely new tab we've added using an extension, and you can see we have the information about the latest items this business partner purchased with a link and an option to see coupons for that item. The link will activate a Google search on that item description, and find coupons will find coupons in our coupon system, which is a UDO. You can see here that UDO contains records about that connect items with coupons, with their names, their new price, and etc. You can see here a button that is named Create Order. It will create an order for these items if we select them. So we can see that everything is available to us. We can change the UI, you can respond to events, we can call service layer calls to create an order or to manipulate data in different ways. And we can do it very easily. You will be able to watch, I think this video or a similar video is already on YouTube. You can watch how to do it. I'm not going to make a deep dive into the code of how it is done, because it's we don't have all of that time for us today, but we're going to release also on our YouTube channel the way it is done, and you can see here that we are running the wizard, creating the project, doing all the steps and showing all the tools that creating this project. So I'm going to stop here and allow more time for the Q&A. Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Shai. I think that's basically, we can move on to Guy Tuketsky. Guy?
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So thank you, everyone, and thanks for joining. My name is Guy, and I will be talking a little bit about what happens under the hood in the lifecycle management enhancements that we introduced with 2602. Let me share my screen. Is this visible? Sorry.
It was visible for a second, but then it disappeared. Maybe try again.
Okay. Should be. Sorry for this delay. Just give me a second. Okay. I hope you can see now.
Yes, but not in a... Yeah, now it's full screen. You can go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Sorry for this delay. Okay, so lifecycle management. First of all, in 2602, this is just a brief capture of what is the latest platform support metrics. With 2602, we actually don't have any new or latest information to show, so I don't want to spend too much time on this slide. Just highlighted in blue the latest changes, but again, these were also available before. Of course, from time to time in the releases, we update our compatibility based on the latest OS database versions that are released to make sure we're compatible and running in a secure manner. So first up, IAM. So IAM is a solution which we introduced with 2208, and since then it has been received by the market in a very positive way. I hear a lot about many adopting it. And with 2602, we actually continue to enhance the features to make it even easier to use and to offer enhanced management of the various features when setting up the IAM. So let's look at a short video that captures the points here in this slide. I think it's clearer if we jump directly into the video. Okay, so first off, we start with the super user, the new super user option that is now available when doing the binding. So we now have a new super user checkbox. You can already do this directly from the binding. You don't need to do it from the Business One desktop as a second step. Of course, you will also see it in the company users table. Another important thing is that when you already do binding and you select users, then let me pause this for a minute. Then we always show the current state of the user, of the super user for the selected user codes. So it could be that in some companies, the user is super user, in others it is not. And this will be clearly reflected in the screen. So the various scenarios are shown here, can be mixed. It can be that really that the user is super user across all the companies. And every time this will be clearly reflected here. And you have the option to leave the current situation as is, or make the user super user across all companies, or remove the super user directly from all companies. So we can see this changes here in the demo. And again, we reflect the settings in the table below. Of course, with that, it's also possible if I did a mistake, of course, I can change and set the super user flag individually for each company, for each company user. Also, in addition to that, we doing the binding, in case you have multiple companies, you do a search for a company based on a company name. Then we tweaked the option to select all results, which wasn't there before. Had to single-handedly select the different companies. Now you can just select all that the search retrieved. And multi-unbind. So this is the first step that we're doing with 2602 to allow a multi-unbind. You don't need, if you need to set up binding, you're doing some editing, then you can multi-unbind. Of course, in the future, we will further enhance this to make it even easier to remove a user and do the multi-unbind. But with 2602, it's a multi-unbind feature. Another cool change is in the login. So when we log in case you have a company that has a long company name, we now have 3 rows to represent the company data. So we show this in a dynamic way. So if the company has a really long name, then we show it across 3 rows, as you can see here in this example. And we also took the time to introduce, for those that missed the traditional choose company window, we now also have it directly when you work with the login. Sorry, let me jump back. So we bring back also the option of choose company. So in this window, you get the best of all worlds, like how you used to do this in the desktop client. You can have a global search, and you can play around with different sorting options or for all the columns, filtering, all the features that are expected from a modern UI here are available here in order to provide you the best and easiest way to find your relevant company and log in. Eventually, when you choose the company and you log in, of course, this is an optional step. You can do it also. You can work on only from the drop-down list. But we also reflect the long company name here below, assuming that really the company has a long name. It's also reflected below accordingly. So this was IAM. Now let's talk about other lifecycle management enhancements. Starting with just a reminder, this is actually from 2511, but a very important milestone we reached with the Tomcat split, which we delivered in 2511, with splitting the Tomcat across the different components. So not everything is bundled into one Tomcat. Now we split it, which brings robustness and far further stability to the system. I have written a blog on it, so you're welcome to go and read more about this. Of course, everything is going to be shared after the call, so I will skip the slides about this and focus on 2602. So again, we have a demo. I will run the demo, but let's quickly run through the different enhancements. So first of all, in the web client, we are bringing the support user experience from the desktop, basically alerting the user that the user is under a support user session. So this is now available also on the web client. And as Ari mentioned, we have also the first solution for using the job service in the background for running a wizard. This is the Datev export in 2602. And with that, we also have a cool new job monitor application where you can monitor the backend jobs that are triggered by the wizard. So the demo will capture that. In the SLD, we have two new components. One is actually decoupled. It's an existing component which is decoupled from the job service. We now have Microsoft 365 as a standalone component, again contributing to further stability and clearer structure of the Business One components. And we have the new Webhook Messenger component, which is also registered in SLD. We paid attention to a very hot topic, which is the certificate. Certificate is a very hot topic in the industry because it keeps changing. It keeps raising new requirements, basically. And first of all, what we did with 2602 is bring the certificate expiration date into the UI, so we can clearly show it and also clearly warn if the certificates are soon to expire. And please stay tuned for future enhancements in this area when we also come to prepare ourselves for the shorter lived certificates and how this is going to be managed, but this is still to come in future versions. Lastly, in the SLD, we also have comprehensive version tracking, so we can now show clearly the versions of the different components that are registered in SLD, and this helps to see that your system is healthy and consistent with running the latest versions for all the components. In the license area, we have a cool new tool which would allow you to see if you have any consistency issue, if you're allocating a license to a user that does not exist and it's a wasted license. Now it's clearly shown in the license control center, and we also will capture this in the demo. And lastly, we also refreshed the demo localized database, so you have new database with the latest yearly transactions of year 26, and also, of course, of the version upgraded to 2602. So let's run into the demo. So this is the support user experience. You get warnings every hour that this is under a support user session. Next up is the Datev export. So this demo is simply showing that when I am running now a Datev export, it runs in the background. I get a notification that it will run shortly. In the time being, I can go to sales order or do any other action in the web client, and I will see notifications flying about any progress. So here I see already that the Datev export was completely successfully. I can click on it and directly go to the export itself and check under the summary the results. Or another cool option is the scheduling. So I can also do a schedule for later. So here I schedule some future date. And of course, I can continue to track from the notifications. And I can also track from the under administration. We have a new TAL, a new app, which is the job monitor app. And in here, I can see the scheduled task that I just ran, the scheduled export. If I refresh it, I can see now that it's already in progress and completed at the very end. Next up, as we mentioned, the two new components. So first of all, the webhook messenger. Okay, important to know it has a new port. So for any firewall configuration, network configurations, and also it has a dependency on service layer. And Microsoft 365 is now decoupled, also bringing a new port into the landscape. And when you upgrade, it will be auto-selected if job service is installed in the landscape. We'll skip a little bit. We can see that the components are registered successfully in SLD. Sorry, video. Okay. So the certificates, we can see certificates. We have now the column showing the certificate expiration date. We also have an option under the global setting to control the warnings. So the warnings can appear on top, as you can see here. And when we click on details, we can see the additional details highlighting which components have expired that are soon to be expired or already expired. With that, we also have a new column for the version information. So this is the first step that we had to do in SLD, so to bring this clarity. And in the future versions, we will also do some additional, we will leverage this version to have also consistency during the product upgrade and installation, but this will come later. In the License Control Center, we have a new tab, Licensed Users. And in this tab, we can see here the allocation of the license based on the company details of that where this user exists. In this example, we see that the user only exists in one company and has a license. And if I were now to remove this company in a way from just move it from the database, it will create an inconsistent status for the user because the license is assigned, but the database is gone. And this is captured in this way. And I can just click on removing consistent license allocation and it solves the issue. I don't need to do any manual operations and play around. It's very easy to see. And we will also feature in the future versions are planning to even enhance this further by giving you some notification in case there is some inconsistency, just so you can catch your attention. Okay, so with that, that's the LCM enhancements. Thank you for listening, and hand over to Ghana.
Thank you, Guy. Our colleague Ghana could not make it today, so I'm actually presenting her update. So I'm back. Let me share my slides again. Hope you can see it. So let me give a brief update on the legal and localization activities for the product. As we know, we have 50 official localizations, and with every support package and feature package, and even exceptionally through hotfixes, we can ship legal requirement enhancements. So before we go into individual recent enhancements, I would like to draw your attention that whenever you have a question and inquiry about an upcoming legal change and you are not sure whether we are supporting this, whether we are aware of it, there is a central portal for entire SAP where SAP Business One product is also supported, and this is called SAP Regulatory Change Manager. It's available to every partner or even to every customer, and there you can filter the product, you can filter the country, and there you can see all the changes which we are aware of and following up on for certain localizations. We do not track all legal changes here, but there's definitely those which are the most relevant ones, the bigger ones, where the major changes. And I really recommend that you bookmark this page, but even you can very easily find it through Google. And so really, SAP Regulatory Change Manager is where you will find all key information about that of all legal changes we are aware of, and also even the timeline and expected release months of the change. So most recently with 2602, Support package feature package 2602 and also support package 2511, we delivered several enhancements. Let me name a few. So first of all, for Mexico, we delivered the completely new DOD report for 2025, and it contains the key information. The report as such is not the first version of it, which we have in Business One, but it contains the key entire payment transaction operation history. And it's mandatory in Mexico for many years, and now we support a version which was effective from recent time. And this was supported already in November 2511 support package, and you can find all the information through the SAP notes. So that's about the DOD report. For Brazil, there is a major tax reform, fiscal reform in progress. It's a multi-year initiative, and we are continuously adopting this as the deadlines. And also where we support now the changes and updates for unencumbered tax, and also the CMPJ number validation, and also unencumbered tax with and without stock posting in marketing documents. So there were several changes, all of them made in support package 2511, and two of them are really a result of the major change tax reform for Brazil. I recommend checking these SAP notes because there are all the details and all which you need for your customers and running your companies. There we also delivered further enhancements for Argentina, France, India, Israel, Poland. With this QR code, you can get to the page where you can filter, which is already pre-filtered for 2511, 2602, where you get a full list of all enhancements in relation to the localizations and legal compliance. And with, like I mentioned, with every support package and feature package, we are addressing 10 plus of various legal changes and working in parallel of them and shipping them through support package, feature package, or exceptionally also through hotfixes when this is necessary because of the timelines. There we did also a few enhancements which are applicable and available in all localizations. So first of all, it was the BP address management, which was requested for many years, and now it's basically possible on a bill to address details also to have it active and allow changes in the address component. Separate discount and dumpment fields in the credit memo header, also available in 2602. We support embedded PDF or sales documents. So that was very important to support the electronic invoice legal changes with certain localizations. For example, PDF with XML attachment. This was really important for Germany and many other localizations. And now it's a possibility to have really a PDF with XML attached. And this is generic functionality available in all localizations. There were a few EFM, electronic file manager enhancements, additional validations, error message support, and also the user interface in the mapping condition. Also, all these changes are available with feature package 2602, and the electronic document survey, proxies authentication for tax service. This is primarily for the United States, but nevertheless, the proxy authentication is available in all localizations. Last, on the legal changes, if you have a new legal change in your country and you are not certain whether it's supported and you want to let us know, so there is a process how to do that. There is an SAP note in which you find a template, and this is a way how to roll in a legal change to us. We appreciate your effort and providing sufficient details so we can then follow up further either with you or with the other channels through SAP departments and with selected partners. Thank you very much. This is everything about the legal and localization support, and I would now ask again Ari to give us an update on the preview for feature package 2608. Thanks.
Okay, I'm happy to talk again with you about the web client, my favorite subject. So let's talk about the ambition. The ambition is to have a fully independent web client. We do it in phases. We focused first on the core business scenarios, including analytical and extensibility capabilities. And then we focus on localizations to have full coverage. That's the plan. With 2608, we deliver an additional portion of the capabilities which are awaited by the market. We enhance the process map. In the business processes, we're introducing the employee master data, very important internal reconciliation functionality, the pricing, purchase quotation, and dunning wizards, project management, which was even asked in the Q&A text I saw, payment wizard, the bank reconciliation and ongoing checks, pick and pack, inventory evaluation, and MRP. I know pick and pack and MRP are being asked quite frequently, so I'm happy to update that this is planned. Just take into consideration this is with a grain of salt because it's planned, so a change could happen theoretically, but hopefully everything will be according to schedule. We're introducing for the first time the initial elements of localization coverage. The tech setup for Germany, United Kingdom, and United States is the starting point. In the analytics and report capabilities, we are introducing UDQ Parameter Support. The AI, I'll leave it to Avi to tell you about it. It's very exciting. And more reporting content to continue the journey of providing you out-of-the-box content. And the extensibility side, I think Shai already mentioned what we're doing. So let me go and show you a few examples of what is coming in 2608. This is hot from the oven, from the development environment. I took a few screenshots. So first of all, the pricing elements are there. Very important master data. Pick and pack with robust functionality. MRP, I was asked many times about it, even in today's call, and yeah, it's coming. Internal reconciliation, which is a very important process for bookkeeping and financial advisors, is also planned. And another very important and useful report is the general ledger using the cross-tab functionality, which was presented previously being used in the profit and loss and sales analysis. So the same pattern is being used for general ledger. You can see it by business partners. You can see it by GL accounts. So as you can see, 2608 is going to be a very exciting version. And this is just a taste, more to come. Avi, I'm happy to hand it over to you to describe what's coming with AI.
Thank you, Ari. So I'm going to share my screen. Hi, everyone. My name is Avi Noam Frankel, and I have the distinct privilege for presenting our forthcoming AI functionality, please God, planned for 2608. So hopefully you can begin to see my screen now. Can you see my screen, everybody?
Yes, I can see that.
Right, wonderful. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through two use cases that we have developed for Business One 2608, and they are planned for release in 2608. And then afterwards, I'm going to give you a little bit of a vision of our thinking for AI. So the first use case that we have developed, hopefully for release in 2608, is called user-defined queries enabled for an AI-generated SQL queries, SQL script queries, where the AI generates the SQL script, we review it, we make sure we're happy with it, we can iterate it with it multiple times to get the final result that we want, and then we can analyze it within the context of our standard list view pattern. So that is the AI UDQ. I'm going to show you that in a few minutes. And one other use case that we've got is something called Ask AI. This is, I think, brand new for everyone probably. No one will have previously seen this, and we have enabled most screens in the web client to have context relevant AI questions asked at the correct time in the business process, just when we need to get the information in order to make a decision. So rather than talk about it, let me show you it, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. So we're moving into the web client, opening up the item list view, and we're going to scroll down to the bottom of this list view and select a couple of items. The first one's the Xerox multifunction printer, and then the Xerox Work Center. And then we notice that in the function bar, we've got this Ask AI function, and I pull that down, and I see there's a whole bunch of pre-configured questions. And the question we're going to ask now in relation to the data that we have selected is, please provide summarized technical specifications. So here is the question. We've already pre-programmed it. and provide a summary of the key technical specifications separately for all the following. And here are the two printers I selected. Here's the answer. We expand it and we see the technical specifications separately for each of these printers. And we can continue the conversation. So I can paste in a continuation, provide expected prices for these printers, submit that, and chug, AI will eventually give me some sort of indication of what the market expected prices are in different markets. So, and we can continue the conversation in that way. So let's come out of that screen and go to another screen. Let's go to the sales. And in the sales menu, we're going to select our sales orders. Now, the sales order list view also has Ask AI, as most list views are enabled for Ask AI. But we're going to open up the document. Here's the sales order, and the sales order header is also enabled for Ask AI. But so are the sales order lines. So we're going to focus on the sales order lines here. We're going to select these lines, and we want to work with these lines. So the first one is our Xerox multifunction printer, and then we have the work center, 2 of them, the portable hard disk, 3 of them, and the 10 packets of paper, of A4 paper. And here we go to Ask AI, and there's one template question that's already been set up. We want to know what the expected shipping times and costs are for these 4 items. So let's look at the question that is asked, this previously saved question that is asked. So what are the expected timeframes and costs for shipping in the USA for the following items? And we've got a list of the 4 items with the following respective quantities. And it lists the quantities that we saw just in the sales order. And it gives the answer, and we can see what the expected timeframes, and it's giving us all the different types of shipping for the different types of products that it estimates is reasonable, etc., and the costs associated. So that is another example. Let's now move, that's Ask AI. Let's move into the analytics area of the web client and move into our user-defined queries. And now we're going to look at generating. Let's create a user-defined query, but this time, instead of doing it manually, which you can do already, let's put in one for item quantities and latest costs and prices. And instead of doing it manually, we're going to generate it with this new button, Generate with AI. So we push this button and it takes us into a console where we can enter a question. I'm going to paste in a question. And here it is. Show me a list of all items with their current total quantities together with the latest incoming cost per item and latest outgoing price per item. Let's submit that question. And we're going to have to wait for the answer. And the answer will be in the form of an SQL script that it suggests will give us the answers we're looking for, the data we're looking for. So here's the script that it generated. We're not going to evaluate it here. We'll just apply it. And it is validated, and we're going to activate it. And scroll down the screen a bit, and then we have a preview area. We press the preview, and we see that we've got for the item, we've got the description of it, and we see the total quantity and the latest incoming costs and the latest outgoing price. That's what we wanted, but hold on a minute. I want a bit more information here. Wouldn't it be nice to have the item group as well? So we go back into the Generate AI, and we can continue the conversation. Now, I'm going to just paste in the continuation here. They add a field for the item group name and submit that, and it updates the SQL query to add in the item group name. We're not even going to look at it, just apply the last reply. We'll just go down straight to the preview section, and we'll preview it, and we'll see what data has been. We see the same data is there, but it's added the item group name. Now that's the query I want. That's the result I would like to work with. And now that we've got the result that I would like to work with, I can now save it. I can add it and view it. So let's go to Add and View. So it's now saved. I've saved this user-defined query. And like any saved user-defined query, now that's generated, we can open it up in the list view. So let's now open it up in the list view, brand new list view. And we have a list of all of these items. And what I want to do now is I want to filter out all the items beginning with SB star. And these are all my branded goods that I have in my inventory, and you can see they're all familiar household names, or some of them maybe more than others, but let's select them all. And I want to ask some questions about it in relation to the quantity, the costs, and their prices. So in relation in particular to the costs and their prices, let's go to Ask AI. There are no previous questions here. This is a brand new user-defined query, but we can also ask a one-off question. So let's open up the Ask One-Off Question screen, and this screen has not yet been completed. There's a little bit more UI work that needs to be, UX work that needs to be done on this. Let's paste in a question, and we can actually see what the question looks like, and we can see there are various variables. It's very easy to enter a variable if we're actually writing out the question. I just pasted it in for brevity. So let's just look at the question. The following items, and you can see there's a variable for item name, and we've selected, I don't know how many, 10 of them or so, have the following respective vendor costs, and we see a latest incoming cost variable, and the following respective customer prices and the latest outgoing price variable. Please compare these costs and prices with the current worldwide market costs and prices. So sounds like a good question. Let's ask AI, and off it goes. And we can see in the question itself, it's passed all of those item numbers with their respective vendor costs and the respective customer prices into the question. And that was what was sent to AI. So it did not send any variables to AI. It just sent the data that we selected to AI. And here we can see a comparison of the costs and price, and most important, and prices to the market costs and prices, and it gives us information as an indication as to whether our prices are within range. What's our margin like? Are we doing well with the item, or is it good price, bad price, whatever? But I happen to like this question, so I want to save it for future use. So I can save the question itself. So the question is then put into our Ask AI app, and I give the question a name. I'm going to paste it in. Items versus market costs and prices. Let's save it. And while we are in the app anyway, let's just go back and see the coverage of this app. The coverage of this app is an Ask AI. It covers most of the areas of the system, most of the list views, most of the document headers and rows. And it also covers, as we just saw, the user-defined queries. And here is the user-defined query we just created, the third one on the list here. And we can see that there is one question that has been defined against this particular user-defined query. So this brings me to the end of the demo. I just want to talk to you now about our future vision. So first of all, let's understand why is it that we've chosen to start off our debut into the AI world for the web client is to start off with the AI user-defined query and also Ask AI. What are they doing for us? So first of all, the AI user-defined query is using our user-defined query engine that we already have. It's with all its existing authorizations. And as I mentioned, as I was demonstrating it, we put in the questions. The AI has got no access to our data whatsoever. All it does is it generates an SQL script based on its understanding of our database and the field structure of the database. But it doesn't see our data. It doesn't have any understanding of what the data is that it's going to be providing to the end user, the actual real data. So no database access. And at this point in time, there are two steps involved because, let's face it, we cannot rely on any LLM to give us an accurate answer. We always need a human to be involved in the process to make sure that the answer that we're getting from the AI is actually going to make some sort of sense. And all of these points are background reasons why we've chosen this specific solution. And the key point is that we want to be able to have a method of being able to extract data, meaningful business data, from our web client to facilitate the end user whenever they need to ask that question. So they can do that through the user-defined query functionality. And on the other hand, we've got this Ask AI capability, which allows us to create context-relevant questions. As I showed you, we can select the relevant pieces of data that we have in the current screen that we're working with. So from an authorization point of view, the user already has authorization to enter that screen. They can choose what data they want to send to the AI. The data that they send is just raw data. The field variables are not sent to AI. AI doesn't actually know what's going on in the background as far as the wider Business One data is concerned. It's just whatever the user has decided they want to send to AI, that is the data that the AI will see and work with. So as far as the AI is concerned, the AI does not know what might not know what the context is of the user asking that particular question. So it allows us to use external data in a context relevant way. Now, that's the current, and we're going to receive passive answers for that. So that's the current functionality. As we move into the future, and as LLMs become more accurate, and let's face it, they're going to be very soon, please God. So once we move there, the AI UDQ, currently we have this human interim step that we have to check the results. Eventually, once LLMs become much more accurate, we can skip out that human step, and we can enable our UDQ generation to happen in the background. The user will not need to know that there's a user-defined query even happening, and the result can be a pop-up of the list view or whatever format the data might be in the future, straight to the end user wherever they are in the system. Now, there's a key issue that we will need to be solving, and this is something that we're thinking about currently, and that is when you've got a multi-user system, you've got different people with different authorizations. How do we ensure that the AI will only, first of all, access only that which the user is authorized to access, and only present to the user the data that the author is authorized to see? So that's obviously a big challenge. And once we solve that, and hopefully we can enable such a solution to be piggybacked on by all of your partner solutions. And once that is what we see as a key to enabling AI in the future. But we're not there yet. We're hoping to do that in the future, and we want to extend and merge both the use of the internal access to data via AI and the external access to data, and eventually activate business processes within using AI. So not only will we analyze the data using AI and presenting that to the end user, but then on the basis of that analysis, we may want to then generate a sales order or do another particular task, which the AI can facilitate for us. So all these are thoughts that we're thinking for the future. And of course, we want to, we're planning to create an open source MCP server, which will also enable all of you to build on it further. So the connection to AI via the web client is via our SAP BTP pay-as-you-go account, and the pricing will be metered according to the LLM that we are using. So that, in a nutshell, is the overview of the way we're thinking, as what we're thinking about for AI for the web client for the future. Hope you enjoyed that, and with that, I'm going to pass you back to Peter.
Thank you, Avinoam. Let me share my screen back. I think you were too bold to, or too humble to share that you are actually going to host the partner webinar for analytics and AI services. So you can already register for the webinar, which Avinoam will deliver in a few weeks from now. And also, I would like to also promote one important initiative which has been driven by Darius Haidarian, which is the AI Partner Innovations Playbook. I think my colleagues will copy the link to it if you're not familiar with it, or you can also Google it. And it's really a great repository of basically the most recent innovations on the agentic AI, generative AI, and AI-powered solutions. Initial 36 stories, really impressive what you have done so far. And yeah, I think the number of stories is growing every day. Really thank you very much. So let me now go to the main topics I wanted to share, which is the first is the version 11. As already mentioned several times, the version 11 is the next major release planned for the next year, and also it's really a huge opportunity to really do something fundamental about the product. It's also the way when we will be shipping the new innovation just solely through the web client, and we will of course ongoingly support and enable the AI services. More importantly, our focus on the partner solutions and your tools and how you can ship and deliver and maintain and deploy will be essential. So we want to simplify deployment and upgrade process. We want to introduce the new generation of the cloud management tools. We want to support the selection of the single or multi-tenant deployment in a system landscape directory, and of course support the backward compatibility with the add-ons. Important, we want to mention that there will be, of course, a support for MS SQL as well as SAP HANA, of course. The desktop client will be primarily for security, maintenance, and legal compliance. Also, we are planning to continue with the mobile apps and also the integration framework, and there will be a sufficient overlap with version 10 to provide time for upgrades. So really this is really a major release. So we want to introduce the new generation of the cloud management tools. So first of all, we want to unify the system landscape directory in a way that you can manage single tenant and multi-tenant deployments, and we want to support the multiple version 11 releases under one interface. We want to support the cloud native integration, deployments on the leading hyperscaler platform, also enable the native cloud storage integration, and on the lifecycle management, really to have more optimized deployment and upgrades, the simplified installation and upgrade processes, connected system landscape directory, and also the enhanced identity authentication management. There will be also investment on the functionality, as we also mentioned before, and it was also in previous updates on this slide, that we want to support the top voted customer ideas, so especially the bone versioning, item variants, and maybe a few more. But really, from the functional side, we don't want to enter any new business process, and we want to really focus, of course, on the enablement of the AI services, and also to really bring or clear the path for future for many years to come, so you can really streamline the provisioning of the cloud deployments and optimize the upgrades in a way that it can be done much easier. And just one example, we want to also really explore the potential usage of the containerization technology to enhance the deployment flexibility and scalability. So as time will continue, of course, we will then be validating some more detailed prototypes with some partner groups, and of course we will then, as soon as there is some preview, we will notify you about the release timelines and the other things to come. But it's really a kind of a commitment of the company of the future investments and the continuation of the product for many years to come, with the first release to come in 2027. So what are the key takeaways from today's webinar? Very briefly, SAP Business One is also really of strategic importance in a SAP ERP solution portfolio. We are maintaining and updating the long-term outlook in the product roadmap, so stay tuned for all updates in the future. We are continuing investing primarily web client, the AI integration and enablement, and of course the version 11. So really this makes us extremely busy, and this is also possible thanks to additional investment really got from the board, and it's really we can really feel it that we have much more capacity, and it also really we are extremely busy because internally we have not grown that much that we really got additional capacity really on the development. The acceleration is really proven with feature packages which are out 2602, but also which will come 2608, 2702. So really these releases are very massive. They are really new wizards, reports, very advanced, the AI enablement integration. But very important is that you can only benefit from all of these innovations and security enhancements when you apply the latest release. So really this is a call for action that always apply to get really a protection on security, but also to benefit from all of the innovation. And do not delay adoption. Also focus on the integrated AI solution scenarios, incorporate technologies, AI technologies into your extensions. This year it's really a unique opportunity. The coverage is really getting the critical mass, and it's really like the latest AI services are there on the market. SAP is provisioning through SAP AI Core and SAP Generative AI Hub, and you can combine these together in your extensions in the web client. So really it's a now really time for call for action, that you really develop your extensions, combine the services, and also develop your extensions, because of course, as we made a success with desktop client and with hundreds of your extensions in form of add-ons, this will not work in the web client, of course, and this also requires some innovation in the form of AI. So you really need to try it and develop these enhancements, and really always focus on the value and really productivity increase, and really the new way of working with the system. Dry adoption and leverage the web client analytics maybe at first, and of course promote the web client customer success stories, and also really call it like opportunities there in your hands. We are following up on also what you asked for on the investments into the product. Please drive net new names. That's our currency which we can use for our activities and invest even further. And what we presented today, it's really outlining that we mean it seriously, that we are investing into web client in the version 11 and so on. Last update, it's really an invitation for partners, primarily from EMEA and EME regions, so really Europe, Middle East, and Africa regions, but partners from other regions, of course, are of course also welcome to join. And this year it will be held in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, in a RAI Arena on October 19th through 21st, Monday through Wednesday, I think it's the date. The registration will be open, I think, after the Sapphire sometime. So we still almost 6 months to go, but we are looking forward to meeting you there and provide the latest update. It will be already done when the 2608 will be out. And we will, of course, release the latest update on what is going on. As you know, because of AI and all the changes, everything is accelerating. So of course, also the message will be reflecting the 6 months, which will last till then. So from our side, this is everything what we want to share today. I think we managed also to answer many questions, more than 50. Maybe we can take a few live, but I know we are already 1 minute above the time. So maybe let's look at the questions yet which are unanswered. And maybe if you also want to ask question live, you can do that with the audio. But we have managed to answer 56 questions already, and we will follow up on those which are come later. So is there any other further question, or does someone want to answer any question? Maybe there is one question I see. Is there a way? Okay, this was answered very quickly. So is there any question to be answered live that you want to raise it really live with audio? I think there is one.
Peter, can you hear me? This is Darius. There are a few questions regarding AI. If you want, I can answer them quickly.
Go ahead, please, Darius.
So one question was about Joule. Is Business One embedded in Joule? No, but Joule has SAP AI Core in its, let's say, as an engine. So we're using SAP AI Core. However, partners can leverage Joule Base and Workzone for extending a Business One implementation, but there's no specific documentation on Business One how to use Joule Base, but you can find experts and partners doing it in like LinkedIn and other community platforms. Then there was a question about the pricing and the requirements. So the idea is to provide an enablement package in the partner portal about all the requirements to get the AI Core integration enabled. About the pricing, I know I'm over time, but what I can provide you is a link, or maybe even if we have the time, maybe just share my screen very quickly. So we have here a section which I can share a link later for metering and pricing for AI Core. There you can find a cost calculator, and if you then run some calculations, sorry, I have this tool here, then you can see a typical ping pong for like a user-defined query ends up with like 0.0095 capacity units. A capacity unit is $1.60. So what you can do is do the math, like $1.60 times 0.0095, and then you're ending up with like less than $2 cents for this ping pong doing a prompt, getting a response. In principle, we also have a slide later to provide you, where you can then also see the requirements. So the customer will need to go direct to SAP, get a BTP pay-as-you-go account. This is free of charge. Then they will need to select the sub-account in the region of the customer. There's also an SAP note, which then also shows regional flavors and versions of the large language models. So for example, in the 2608, we plan to use the OpenAI GPT-5, which over time, of course, when the LLMs expire, new versions will also change. And then you can also see for Europe, for example, there's a specific OpenAI EU version. And then more details are shared here on the screen, which is still recorded, so you can look at it later. And also here, the link for the pricing, I will put in the chat for you. So you will have access to already read a bit about the metering and pricing. Thanks. That's all from my side.
Yeah. As we have really exceeded the time for the webinar, so we would like to close from our side. Thank you very much for your participation, for your commitment, dedication to the product. The recording will be shared soon through the partner portal as well as the slide deck. And of course, there was already an invitation to another webinar to be provided and delivered by Avi Noam on the 19th of May. So looking forward to seeing you there, and as well as also the partner summit in October, in the Netherlands. Thank you very much and have a good day, have a nice evening and good night. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thank you. Thanks, Peter.